The roller coaster that we call Philadelphia sports, the ups and downs. We'll talk about how Vegas has priced this in. It's a money pot thing. Let's go.
Let's go! This ain't the box fight. Horses think he stinks.
Oh shit!
It's gone.
And we are live. I even have the mic in the mic. Welcome everybody back to another episode of Money Pop Podcast. I was a little bit off key in the beginning there with my energy, but I gotta bring it back up. Once I hit that we are live, I am locked, loaded, ready to go, giving you the very best around the state, the country, in sharing sports betting knowledge. We're sharing picks. Well, it's all free, baby. It's all free. You don't pull no punches from me. We give live bets, live picks, live takes, live strategies on how to make you a little bit of more money. You know what I mean? Everything's up. Inflation is through the roof. Stocks are falling. Crypto look like shit. Where can you go? You came right to the right place. You came to Money Pop Podcast to fill your gambling needs and wants. Mother's Day's next week too, so we need some paper. We need some money to get this thing moving, man. So let's first kind of come back down, just like I said, a roller coaster, right? We up, we down, we up, we down. Let's bring it back to what just happened from a Philadelphia sports perspective, right? And then we'll see how Vegas priced that all in to what we're seeing in the market right now. So the first, I guess, really shocker and big news was the let me fix my mic all messed up. My mic right. Was the news about Joel Embiid and the injury. So what we know so far, everybody's hating. What we know is people blaming Doc. Yo, you were up 25. Why is he in the game? I get it. Doc's old school. You gonna have your dogs out there. I'm gonna have my dogs. You call off your dogs, and I'll call off my dogs. I think that's how we answered the question. Like, hey, those guys were still in the game down 25. Why were those guys still in the game 25? They didn't want to give up. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep crushing your motherfucking neck. Excuse my language so early in the morning, but I'm gonna keep crushing your motherfucking neck until you yield, until you give up. You don't want to give up? Cool. We gonna stand here and we gonna still play ball. So I get that. For those who don't get that, that's the old school mentality to just kill them, right? Get them out of here. Even though they were already out of here, get them out of here. So what I want to talk about now, though, is that now we got that arc, right? Beat them up there. We beat them by 30. We saw Embiid take a shot, didn't know. He said, I think he broke my face. Kind of went over everybody's head. Let's go. Next series. Boom. Hit you with a bomb. He could be out for God knows who knows. They're not saying when, right? And then he has an orbital fracture, what he had last time, and a concussion, a mild concussion. The protocol is 5 days. So that puts him around game 3 or coming back. Let me see. Let me look at my odds. Looking at the odds right now, it is 187 that the Miami Heat and Philadelphia 76ers series is 2.5 games, and it's minus 164. So the Sixers are plus 2.5. So what does that mean? That means that the Miami Heat have to win by 3 games. This has to be a 4-1 series for them to win that bet. So if you think about that, there's a little bit of protection Vegas has put in there because it's right on that 2.5. right on that line, because without Embiid, they could very well get swept, right? And I know we saw the regular season how it's a regular season one. There was a lot of factors, back-to-back games. Stars were in, stars were out. So regular season's over. It's playoff time. I know Lowry's out right now. The line right now is at 8.5. That might be fluctuate. I would lean Sixers if you want an early lean or an early play in that game. I would definitely lean Sixers because you need to wow them. You need to shock them. Your best bet to win a game in Miami is game one, not game two, game one. Just like Iverson out in LA, shocker of the try to set the tone. Win game one, right? Because you got to split. You can't go back to Philly down 0-2. You're one of the best road teams in the league, right? So you need to kind of reel that back in, and you need to go and take care of business. So early lean at plus 8.5. I like the Sixers, or I would lean towards the Sixers in that bet. They could easily lose by 12 or 15, especially if Harden's off. If they D up on Harden, you put Jimmy on Harden, like it could be a long series for Harden to do that, which they very might well do. I don't know how they defended him in the regular season, but it wouldn't surprise me if you see some Jimmy Butler on Harden. So, but when you look at that series and you look at what that is right now, like I said, they have some protection and then there's some liability. I don't think Embiid's going to be out for the series. I think as soon as he clears concussion protocol, best believe Mass Embiid, Green Hornet looking Embiid is coming back and playing. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to be playing in this series, in my opinion. So if you're looking at a series bet, and we're giving out plays already. If you're looking at a series bet, then I would be looking at that plus 2.5. What is that? What does that play right now? Actually, you know what? Y'all live with me, right? Let's do this live, baby. What am I doing? Y'all act like y'all not with me. So let me give me a second. Let me bring up the play right now. We were looking at some NFL plays. We'll get into that too. And if you haven't, go to YouTube. If you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, go ahead and go to YouTube. Go to on Facebook. It's in the bio. A2D Radio. We are partisan sponsored. The show is sponsored by BetUS. BetUS right now has 125% return on $50 deposits. The link is in the bio. Go ahead and sign up. Join one of the fastest growing and leading online sports books. Been doing it for over 25 years in the market. Go ahead and click on our link. I believe the link is in the A2D Radio bio. It's on the YouTube page, and I just put it up right here for our Facebook friends and for our YouTube folks. Go ahead and jump and click on the link. Get that money back. We're talking about free money. I say it all the time. Free money, meaning you put your deposit $50 down, you get your money back. You use that money to make a bet, and then you cash out. Start looking at these promotions. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start looking at other promotions and see what we got. But we definitely want to use BetUS promotion because it's the best promotion out right now. I've tried it already. I've gotten bonus money out because sometimes with those promotions, what happens is you get like money back, but it's not money you can take out. Or it's like money you have to spend like over a couple of weeks, or money you have to use in like casino money that they have on the online stuff. This is real cash that you get back from BetUS, man. So definitely check BetUS out. Hit the link. Make sure you tell them MoneyPod sends you. All right, so let's bring in the odds for the series real quick on the Sixers. So like I said, man, we're going to go on a roller coaster here in terms of what has happened and how Vegas has priced stuff in, right, from a betting perspective. So let us go to NBA, right? Let us go to Eastern playoffs. This is going to be a dogfight, too. That Boston Bucks series. Whew. Wow, they're favorite 2-1 to win the series. How about that? All right, so right now, Miami Heat are minus 375. And if you watched last week, I got to get a link. We'll make a link or add a link to the bio description. If you watch last week's show, our show, and we was before the market and before it changed, we talked about Miami Heat winning the Eastern Conference Finals. This is before, Embiid got hurt. We talked about the Miami Heat being a live play and very good odds to win the Eastern Conference and possibly win the finals. If you didn't go back to A2D Radio, check out the link, or you can go to Money Pot's YouTube and check out the link for that video. And we talk about go to 9 minutes and 30 seconds into the show. We talk all about that. How you gotta love when you give out good plays. Gotta love when you give out good plays, because that's definitely live. So here it is. Right now, minus 2.5 is plus 134, and then plus 2.5 in a series spread. Sixers are minus 164. So, like I said, this is a good representation of how much juice you got to pay on this. So, if you don't know, this is the spread. Gives us it's based off a unit. Everything in Vegas is based off a unit, was $100. So for every $164 you have to bet on this play, you will win $100. And then vice versa with the plus. The plus is 134. So for every $100 you spend, you get 134 back. Right? A lot of people might be taking a little bit of this because it's pretty good, decent EV play with Embiid imbalance in the window. But this tells me, this minus 164, this tells me that Vegas is priced in, then there's a chance Embiid comes back either really late or he's going to be coming back altogether. They still like Miami to win the series. Obviously, Embiid's got all kinds of elements, the thumb and now the face, concussion, et cetera, et cetera. But I like this play right here. Like, I really do. I really like this play at plus 2.5 minus. You know what? Let's look at a series parlay here. So let's take them. This is a tough one, man. Tough one. Everybody's on Boston, which one makes me want to move away from being on Boston so heavy. So I gotta check this out. Let me see. Let's make some money. Flames in 5 over the Stars. Round 1 lock. All right, we got some hockey. Got some hockey plays. I like that. I haven't looked at hockey too much. Let me know, Dylan, man, what you think about the Avalanche? Is the Avalanche or Florida going to win the Stanley Cup? I like to take a look at those plays too. We'll look at those plays today too. What up, Jake? Eagles got better in the draft, and I believe they will take it down and win the division. Yeah, we'll get into that poll question. Tom, I got you, bro. Absolutely. A little bit of value there already. It's all about Hurts, though. Embiid isn't playing game 1 or 2 in Miami. The Sixers have to come back 1-1 because it's not going to guarantee he's back for game 3. If it's 1-1, then we can still have a chance if he can't play till game 4. Right. So, Ryan, exactly what you're saying. That's what I'm seeing that's being priced in here with this. Like, if he doesn't come back in game 3, more than likely game 4, even possibly, hopefully, game 5, if they don't get swept, that he'll be back, right? It's either going to be right there at game 3 or it's going to be a little bit later in the series, counting how the series is going, whether he can come back. I think he's going to come back anyway. There's no way in hell they're going to keep him off the court, in my opinion, unless his eye has danger of falling out. And even so, I still think he'll just ask for more padding in the mask. But once he clears concussion protocol, absolutely he will be back for sure. So let's go to Western Conference. So we got Dallas and the Suns. Damn, they're 3-1. Like, wow. What's the series spread on this one? 2. So they're thinking 4-2. Yeah, I don't know about this. This smells like 7 games all over. We don't know how Booker is going to come back. Is Booker going to be the same Booker? Dallas is a good team right now. And then Memphis and Golden State. A lot of people got Golden State winning this whole thing. For whatever reason, Memphis has been there was a tough matchup for them in the Timberwolves for whatever reason, but they got through it. I don't know if they have enough to beat them, but I don't know who can guard Morant. Like, he was just guarded. So that's going to be the challenge in this series. But this one, I kind of like this one. I like the 1.5 right here. Taking the dogs. What's this series? Oh, they don't have the series. Yeah, for this one. Wow. This is not even up. This would probably be 1.5. See, like 6 games, 4-2. It makes sense. And then we do this. That's not bad. That's not a bad little series parlay. And if you like Boston, let's go back. If you like Boston, just to add Boston in there. That ain't bad. 2 favorites, right? And then 2 dogs in the other series. What y'all think about that play? That's not a bad play right there. A lot of liability. I like Dallas a lot, man. They're, you know what I mean, especially with Luka coming back. I don't know what the deal is with Booker, but it wouldn't surprise me if Dallas wins game 1. I don't think that would shock anybody. Brunson has been balling. And it's tough to get back, right? Phoenix was there last year. It's tough to get back. So I could see this being a 4-3 series. I can see this going all 7 games for sure. That'll be a tough series. But if you don't like that, you want to take this out, or shit, you want to take this out, right, and go this way. You can easily do this, right? You know, just get a win. Betting 3 of the heavy favorites: Miami, Boston, and Golden State. That's a pretty good bet right there. Now you're not getting too much, right? You know, you're not getting too much. But I have a hard time thinking that all the favorites are going to win. Milwaukee's deep. They're not going to go out without a fight. I don't think that Tatum's going to be able to score like that on Giannis. If Giannis is guarding him, I don't know how they're going to do that matchup. Just because of Giannis's, his length, it's going to be tough for Tatum to score. So, Brown really has to get going in this series. What's the series spread in this one? 1.5. That makes sense. That does make sense. What y'all think about this one? Plus 164, not bad. I like this play. I really do. I like this play better than the other one. All right. So let us get back to what we were talking about this series right now. Like I said, plus 2.5 is a pretty decent play. I think this has some built-in liability for Embiid, and I think that's why we're saying that right now. So let us. All right, but we'll see. Games today. Let's look at the games today real quick here while we're on NBA. What do they got up? I swear these things are just like, bro. I swear these things are scams. Like they're such big scams. This doesn't happen. I fade these all the time. All the time. If you follow me on TikTok, I put them up all the time. Because people get so hooked into these things, man. And they get so many suckers on these bets. Sometimes they hit, but most of the time, they do not hit. They do not hit at all. We just got 2 games today. We got the Bucks in Boston plus 4.5. I'm sorry, minus 4.5. Boston total is 217.5. And then we got Golden State and Memphis. Look how short that line is at 2.5. Wow. What was that series in the regular season? Anybody know what that series was in the regular season? Let me see here. Boston, Memphis. That Boston Milwaukee ain't gonna be a hell of a series, man. Hell of a series. So they beat the Warriors. It's probably without Steph though. Yeah, it was out Steph. They didn't have nobody that game. But Morant didn't play that game either. They got bombed on them. So they took that one. I like to just get a barometer. So what I do is I like to go back and just look at, you know, what some of these teams did versus each other, just to get a sense of, how they played, how they match up. Obviously, that's regular season. But stars get up to play other stars. And I'm seeing right now, series was 2-1 Memphis. Game is in Memphis. They won. They lost in Golden State, but won at home. I want to say twice. Yeah, they played them 2-1, and they won in Memphis twice. So this is why this line is so short. Home dog here. First game opening up. They just won a game coming off a pretty natural high, right? They just won their first series in 7 games. 7 years. So when you look at that and that talk, this is live, right? When you look at this bet and you break down this bet, you got to think Golden State, been champs, been here before. Um, Golden State looking to win here by a basket makes a lot of sense. So probably be a pretty heavily bet right here, too as well. So you got to understand that's a public bet. What we got for player points right now? I'm looking for Morant. Like this, really like this, really like Morant right now with that 22 and a half for sure. He'll get that. He'll get that. Greg, what up, bro? What up, man? We getting there. We'll get there, brother. We'll get there. I'm just looking. I'm getting caught up in some basketball plays right now. Getting caught up in some basketball. I was supposed to transition to football and talk about the draft, but I started looking at basketball, and now I'm caught up, and now I can't transition. Just go right to football. I'm trying to think, because I'm doing this live, y'all. Right? Like I haven't. I know about the teams and how they play, but I'm looking at some value live here. I like John Morant over. I'm gonna go. I think I like Giannis here, man. 30. That makes a lot of sense. And they just face the player with this type of not just Giannis and Durant are not. I can't even say they're similar body types. They're completely different. But for him to get 30, he's going to have to. And the way Tatum's been playing, he's been playing out of his mind. I think Al comes back to earth. I don't like unders though. Let's look what Giannis has done against Boston this year. How many 30-point games has he had against Boston? But it's different now because there's no Middleton, right? So then they haven't played Boston. Oh, here we go. And he game, yeah. See, they're gonna have. I think they're gonna have a tough time stopping Giannis. That's the problem. Like Giannis is going to get his right, and I think they've lost to them, all games this year. That's just why I like Miami, man. I really do. I do really like Miami to win it all. But see, Middleton's the X factor that they had. So now that they don't have Middleton, can Allen really give you 20 a night? Like, I'm not sure. So last time Boston won, and they took care of Giannis, right? Giannis had 20, and that game no Middleton. Oh no, Middleton paid. They were just off. They just balled up on him. He still got 20. Still got 20. Yeah, I like Giannis over 30 and a half today. And what is it in Boston too? I like Giannis. I think this is a nice play right here. Go with the stars. Um, don't get greedy. Safe play. This is a safe play. Plus 233, two on your money. Go ahead and play that. I like that. I like that play. What's up, Molly Mall, man? What's up, brother? Just going through this basketball plays. And speaking of basketball, man, I had to bring my guy on. It's just me today, but I had to go back in the bag and look out for my fellow handicappers that be doing this on a regular, man. So shout out to my guy Marcus from the Philly podcast. Jumping on.
What's going on, big fella?
Hey man, I'm just living in your world, baby.
Hey man, I'm just glad to be here as a guest, man, on your show, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. We trying to give the people some plays here. I was supposed to transition to football because of the draft, right? I just love football. I was supposed to go that way, but it's not working. It's not working because I'm stuck in basketball and I can't get myself out because I'm stuck looking at these lines, man. And I know you do your thing in basketball, man. I just want to tell y'all right now, my guy Marcus is so consistent with these damn plays. Smart, consistent plays. Marcus does day in and day out. Makes a ton of money on plays. Always free to go ahead and talk to. So if you don't follow the Philly podcast, I need to follow the Philly podcast. They do a lot of football stuff, but when he talk basketball, when Marcus gets on the mic and talking basketball and he starts giving out some plays and some lights and some leans, pay attention. Get your notes. Get your paper. Pay attention. I'm not saying he's a professional. I'm definitely not a professional, obviously on entertainment purposes only. But when we show you winning tickets, you gotta listen, right? You gotta listen. I say this all the time. It pays to listen, right? It pays to listen. It costs you nothing to write it down. Now you go play it, right? Obviously, it'll cost you something. Always manage your bankroll right. But the one thing I love about you, bro, is that you do a lot of smart plays and you only go for those you do those marginal wins. You're not going for the plus 500, plus 600. Give me that plus 187. Give me that plus, 155. Give me even a little bit more, that plus 2. But you stay around that wheelhouse to give yourself the best play and the best bet to get yourself some money. So I think you do an excellent job of that. So I'm looking at this right now. This is what I got so far. Just looking at plays that I like. We talked about the Philadelphia series, obviously the roller coaster ride of the draft and Embiid, being hurt. I feel he's going to be back by either game 3 or game 4. I think
I don't even think it's that long. I think it's game 2.
Game 2.
The reason I say that is because people are going back to when he had that same injury in 2018, right?
Right.
The thing that people are leaving out of that is that there was a surgery required. So that's why he missed 18 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no surgery required here. So in reality, all they're really banking on at this point is the other side of it, which was the concussion. They said it was a mild concussion.
Yeah.
NBA protocol is five days.
Correct.
Unless you become symptom free within those 5 days, and then they let you play. But more than likely, it's going to be game 1 he's missing, and he'll be back for game 2. The reason I say that is because he's already went through it. I'm pretty sure they already have a plan because they had a plan in 2017-18 when he went through it and he had to mask up, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably what they'll do this time. He'll play game 2. He's already been on record saying, like, look, hey, man, it's the playoffs. They are Doc and the rest of the organization already said there's no surgery required. So it's pretty much pain tolerance and, mask up. It's the playoffs, man.
How you say mask up? How that's funny that you say that because I'm just sitting here. I'm thinking to myself like mask up. Like we've heard this before, right? For 2 years, mask up.
Right. Put that mask on. Put that Brian mask on and get to work, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but I will say this though, and I was talking to a couple of my guys about this also. Whatever I believe right now, the 76ers are playing with the church's money anyway.
Okay.
Right. And the reason I say that is because of the top cover that the situations with Kyrie and Ben have given them. Right. because when you look at it, none of this takes place. None of this stuff between with the 76ers takes place without those two guys going. You never want to make fun of mental health or whatever the case may be, but without those two guys' personal and professional situations, we're not even having this conversation, right? So this national media is so fixated on those two. The 76ers could literally either one, sweep out and lose all four.
Yep. Very likely.
Right. Or they could, win one and nothing else happens, right? And they'll get a pass, including Doc, they'll get a pass because of what all the extra burdens they had to deal with this year. So
no, I mean I agree with you, and I was just about to look at this right now. So a little bit of extra, money, about 2 times at 430 plus 430 for them to get swept. And then obviously the best bet is 5 games, only plus 200 2-1, and then 6 and 7 make a lot more sense. I would probably lean towards more 6. We did a show last week where we had, I feel Miami's going to win the whole thing and win the Eastern Conference. So, I'm not changing that thought process. I had that. We talked about that last week before Embiid got hurt. And I think that, this Miami team reminds me a lot of the Bucks team the year before, where they're just right there. They've been there. They battle tested. They're well coached. They have all the pieces. They have the star. They have the defense. They have the shooting. They have the bench. It's all there. It's just it just got to be clicking on all cylinders at the same time.
I actually think this is the worst, and not because obviously we're Sixers fans. I think this is the worst matchup that the Heat could have drawn. And the reason I say, before the Embiid injury,
I was about to say with Embiid, it's not a good matchup for me.
Yeah, it's not a good matchup for them. And the reason I say it is because I like Bam Adebayo, but they literally have no one that can guard Jordan.
And I've said this multiple times. Outside of Durant, Embiid, and Tatum, I think Tatum's starting to get in this conversation.
Yeah.
But those 3 guys are literally they're not guardable 1-on-1. You can't guard them 1-on-1.
And there's literally no one there, right? So when you look at that and you couple that, the last time, granted, the regular season is different from the postseason, but that doesn't mean that Tyler Hero becomes a better defender, because he could not stay in front of Maxey at all, right?
Yeah.
And then if you look at the cross matchups after that, you probably would have Jimmy Butler on Tobias, right? You would probably have PJ Tucker on Harden, right? So that'll probably be a good defensive matchup there. But really, for the rest of the folks on that team in starting 5, I don't see where they have an advantage, right? Because
their bench is just deeper. That's all, right?
Yeah, but it's the same sort of player coming off, and the bench doesn't really apply as much as we saw this last series. The bench doesn't really apply as much in the postseason because the rotations are shorter. You're not going to see during the regular season, you saw Shake, you saw Furkan, you saw an extra bit of what's his name, Millsap or Jordan.
Well, I think Millsap will play this series, obviously.
Yeah, so and then the other thing is in the Toronto series, those jokers, all 5 of them was just long. It was different. You don't normally see a team that can field all 5 power forwards and all of them can stay with you.
Yeah, they all got this. They're all same player. They're all same build. Yeah,
right.
I
so
get that. Yeah, I get that.
So in this series, I would say, I still think the series will go 6 or 7. I don't think it's going to be over. When Embiid comes back, I think it's going to either go 6 or 7. It's not going to be a sweep, and I don't even think it'll be over in 5. I think it'll be either 6 or 7.
Yeah,
I go either way too.
I think that Victor, what's his last name?
Oladipo.
Yeah, Oladipo. I think that he changes a little bit. I didn't think he was going to play as much as he did, so it tells me that he's got, he's always hurt, but he's healthy. But he does give them another gun, another athletic guy on the court, on the court. So I'm looking at what they did against Atlanta,
Yeah,
and they
and
went about
Atlanta was half dead.
yeah,
Too.
they went about six. They went about 7 deep.
Right.
With Oladipo, and then Hero coming off the bench. So, the dude Khalid Martin comes off a little bit. He got 20 minutes. So, but yeah, no, we can break down that series a lot. But from a betting perspective, I was looking at the series spread, and I'm kind of with you. I think this series goes 6 or 7. So I did like the Sixers at plus 2.5.
Yeah.
You got to pay a little bit for it, minus 164. But I do like the series because I do feel Embiid's going to play.
Right.
And they got to steal game one.
Right.
For them to have a shot, they got to go in there and steal game one.
Or game two. All you required to do is get one of the two.
Yeah, you got to get one of the two. So, but going back to this series, I started to build a little something. And I think you do really well with your props and stuff. So let's give the people a little bit about what some things that you're looking at the games today, and then obviously we'll talk about games tomorrow in the Sixers game. But what are you looking at in the series today? What makes sense to you? And kind of go through your process of how you get these picks, man.
Right now, I'm just keeping it really simple. Okay. It's at minus 108, but that's fine. It's close. It'll probably get closer to the plus money by the time the tip off starts, which is in about 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping it simple, man. I'm looking at both Marcus Smart and Drew Holiday's assists. You know what I'm saying? So you're looking at over. I'm looking at over 5.5 assists for both on the alternate assist. That's a pretty simple one. And then if you wanted to add in points, right? If you wanted to add in points at that point, I would look at Grayson Allen's point line, 11.5.
They haven't caught up with him, He's still too low.
Yeah, I would drop that in there with that one, and then that puts you at
They really haven't.
That puts you at plus 272. So
man.
I think that's an easy one. I think that'll hit easy.
Yeah,
extra easy.
Yeah, I think I think in the Atlanta series he was hovering around like 7.5.
Right,
like 8 points, and he was getting that in the first
20
quarter.
Points a game.
Yeah, like it was crazy. Yeah, so I do really like this bet. I think it's just like I said, you always are good. I think you really are good at doing a lot of smart bets that don't put a lot of liability on your money.
Right.
And these two right here, like without this, to me, this is a lock.
Yeah,
like they, like right there, like you know what I mean. Let's throw that up there, man. Like right there, without that. That's a lock. That's a lock to me. That's a lock play right here. You know what I mean? I love this play right here. Holiday and Smart just to get alternate assists over and half. You're paying a little bit more on the juice at 108, but I like this play. I actually think I think you said this might get the plus EV. I think the other way. I could see this getting a minus 113, minus 114 by tip off. I really like this play. This is a really smart play right here. And like you said, if you want to add the Allen play, give you a little bit more bang for your buck, he should easily hit this. I can see him getting anywhere. Like if the Bucks win, he'll get 20.
Right.
If the Bucks lose, his floor is 10.
Yeah, and he'll still get playing time.
Yeah, he's gonna. Oh yeah, he's gonna definitely get tick. It's just count who they put him on from a defensive perspective. Is my thought, and does that gas him out? Like, do they put him on Brown? Because is he starting now, or is he still coming off the bench?
I think he is still starting. As a matter of fact, yeah, I think he is still. I think he's still in the starting lineup because.
No, he's coming off the bench.
I don't think so because Middleton's still not playing.
They gave it to Matthews, Wesley Matthews. What's the starter?
Right. So you look in their starting five. It's Brooke,
Lopez, Holiday, Portis, Giannis. And is it Allen or no? You're right. I think it's Allen, not Matthews. I think Matthews comes off the bench.
Right, Matthews comes off the bench because he can't score. Yeah, my man. I mean, I watched the whole series, and there were games. I think it went 5, right?
I think
I think he might have gotten the 6 points one game. And in the other the other 4 games, he scored 2. Sometimes he scored none. 2 games, I don't think he scored.
Right.
And he
So
was in the starting lineup.
since the playoffs, right? Obviously, it's only been one series, but since the Chicago playoffs, this is Grayson Allison's line: 13-3, then 0-3, 3-1, and then obviously Millington got hurt. 22-6, 27-2, 13-5. So he's hit over 11. 11. He's hit this prop point 4 out of the last 6.
Right.
That's a good play right here, brother. Good play, man. Way to give the people some money.
Yeah.
Way to give the people some money right there. I like that. Keep it going, man. What else you got?
Other than that, for that particular game,
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to go. I think Tatum could hit 30, but on the safe side, right? On the safe side, if you want to go, well, hold on one second. If you want to go Tatum at 20 over 25 and a half, right?
Right.
And then if you want to go, let's say, where's Giannis at? They don't even put Giannis's. They don't even have Giannis's. Wait a minute. Let me say. I'm sorry. Yeah. If you want to say, okay, Giannis at 28 and a half, I think that hit plus money too. Also, if you want to do that.
Yeah.
So that should get you a good parlay right there, man.
Yeah, no,
they got to score. They got to score.
Yeah, they're going to score. And I was looking at some of the games before you came on, and I think Giannis hit 30 out of the 2 or 3 out of the regular season. But
right.
But I just wanted to confirm in my head how they defended Giannis, because I'm thinking are they going to do the same thing kind of with KD? But you can't, right? Because Giannis, one, is a different player. But I'm looking at the build, just that big body, long arms. But Giannis is obviously a completely different player than KD. But he should see a lot of double teams to get him out of
the thing is,
hands.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't think you're going to see a lot of doubles.
No, you didn't even put him straight up.
Yeah, because you know why I say that is because you have Horford, you got Robert Williams, right? So they're going to start. Those two are going to start, right?
Yeah.
Or Grant Williams, and then you still got Tatum and Brown. So they can double. What they'll do is they'll probably allow him to take that initial drive, but when he gets to the paint, it's not there's really no one. There was no one there, just to be honest with you, for the Bulls. There was no one there.
Yeah, he's the best finisher in the game.
Right, but when you got Horford and Robert Williams there, or Horford and Grant Williams there, those are bruisers. And then you still got Marcus Smart out there, so there's not going to be a easy run to the rim for Giannis in this series.
Yeah,
which means I think the other pieces are going to have to chip in and do a little bit more scoring. If you want to put up a prop for Drew Holiday or Bobby Portis or Blake or what's his name? Blake what's his name? Lopez. Yeah, Lopez.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to look at their scoring, they're going to have to score. Because I don't think, I think maybe this game in particular, this open game, just to get a feel of the series, Giannis might do okay, but the playoffs is all about adjustments.
For sure.
So they'll probably let him get off this game, but then the next couple games, he may not get to 25. And that's a possibility. He may, it might be a game where he just breaks out and has 40, but I would lean on the backside of him not getting the 30.
I like that. I like that take. Who do you think wins the game?
They are in Boston, so Boston.
Yeah. Boston.
Yeah, Boston.
Yeah, that's why I added Boston to this play.
Boston's going to win that game. I don't see any reason why they won't.
So if I take this out, you get a little bit more. You're getting greedy by playing the number. That's new. We've learned that. Don't get too greedy. Yeah. Don't get too greedy with them. We had a couple plays of this of the base of the parlay. So let's talk about how to build a parlay. In most parlays, there's your lock plays as the foundation. And a lot of people, what they do is they take those lock plays and they spread them out all over all other plays. Now you live and die on that play, right? So if that play misses, all your tickets are screwed, right? It's a wrap. But when you have two plays that are higher up in terms of, like, this was a minus 300, this was minus 250. When you have plays like that where you have to pay a lot of juice on the parlay, those are more likely to hit. Now, they're 100% perfectly going to hit? Absolutely not.
Right.
But anything over like 60, 70% of terms of the algorithm or the percentage of when those will hit, you got to play those numbers. Will they always hit? No, it's just a 40% chance of not, which is a big percent. But 60% is very high. Remember, your professional bettors, your professional syndicate bettors, they're betting at a 55 to 56% clip. The average bettor is more like 48, 47, right under 50%. So you don't think about that 7% being a wide gap. But if you think about stocks in the stock market gives you what, 10% back on your money. So the more money you keep putting into the market, you're going to keep getting that market share, and that money is going to keep coming back. Almost same thing with sports betting. If you stay within those numbers of things you hit, think about your AT&Ts, your Coca-Colas, your Teslas, and it's hard to say that now because the markets went down. But stay at the ones, at the big guns that consistently win for you and consistently give you back profits, then you're more than likely going to win. And that's why these bets and these numbers are at that inflated rate of minus 300, minus 250. So I just added the Boston play, right, at minus 194. I like the Allen play, right? But if I took the Allen play out, 2-1 on your money, this is a very solid play. Right. I like Allen, and I think Vegas hasn't caught up with him just yet. His line at 11.5, this really should be like 14.5.
Right.
And then you got to question it.
Easily.
Yeah. It should be at 14.5. I think 15 is a little high, but it should be around like where Marcus Smart is. Like, it should be, these lines should be similar. Like, he should be the same as Marcus. Maybe at 14.5, it'll be plus 104 or 108, right? And then minus 125, 129 or something under. Right. But I think that this play right here, 5-1, this is a healthy parlay right here. Yeah. Healthy parlay, man. All right, I like that play, man. I like how you put that together, man. Let's give them some more. So what we got? What you looking at this Golden State Warriors Memphis series? Because Memphis, they, for whatever reason, Minnesota matched up well with them. They did it in the regular season. And Morant didn't. Morant had his, highlight plays, but he wasn't dropping like 30 and 8 and 7 every night. His was more kind of subtle. It was like 11, 8 and 5. I know he had a triple double, but I think it's interesting because this line's short. They're coming off the high of winning their first series in 7 years.
Take all their unders, because I don't think they're
unders.
Yeah. I don't think they. The reason I say that is because people, and this, I know that's a shock. That's a shock talk. But the way I look at it is, the Grizzlies are a young, hungry team, right? They're a young, hungry team. However, the Golden State Warriors, scheme wise, I don't see like you got on the Memphis side, you got Bane, you got Ja, you got Jackson, you got a couple other guys, but the biggest
who's under you taking? I want to cut right once you in your break.
I'm taking Jaws.
Just Jaws under, like Ja under on everything, or just
Baines. I'm taking Jaws and Desmond Baines. You know what I'm saying? You know why I say that?
Ooh,
I'm gonna tell you why. Because of the fact that that the Timberwolves are a 7th seed, right? Mm-hmm. However, their perimeter, other than Ant-Man, or Anthony Edwards, their perimeter players don't scare you. You're not running with those guys. You're not running. There's no running with a D'Angelo, Russell. He's not going to make you run. He's a guy that gets his at his own pace, right?
Yeah.
You're chasing Clay, a healthy Clay now. You're chasing a healthy Clay. You're chasing a healthy Steph. You're chasing what's his name?
Poole.
You're chasing a healthy Poole. You know what I'm saying? And so you know what that does when you have to chase those guys? When you get back on offense, where your legs are going. Granted, yeah, they're professionals, but if you're not used to chasing a Steph for 6 games or 4 or however long the series goes, or a Clay for that amount of time, or a Poole, that can take a lot out of you on the offensive side, because they want to get out and run. Well, if you got to chase, like I said, if you got to chase Steph and Clay all the time, you ain't just gonna be able to get out and run. That's not gonna happen. Which puts Memphis in a bind where they're gonna be. They may have to turn into a half court offensive team, and are they capable of doing that? Because as you've seen, Jaren Jackson is a foul box, man. You know what I'm saying? Every game he played in this series,
yeah, I saw that.
He either fouled out or he had 5 fouls a game. They couldn't play him.
Yeah.
And then he's going to be integral with Draymond, because Draymond is really a point forward.
Right.
So if you're always on the bench and you don't know what you're doing, you can't keep yourself on the court, that's a problem. That is a big problem. So
interesting.
That's why I would say to lean more towards the Memphis Grizzlies unders. That's not saying they won't win. What I am saying is it's not going to be an out. It's not going to be a offensive outburst for them because of the tax it's going to take on them on defense.
Interesting take. I didn't even think of it like that, from that perspective, because there is a lot of motion that happens on the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, you got to guard. You got to, when you guard. Prime example: when you guard Steph, man, you got to guard Steph the minute he steps over the 3-point or over the half court line.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Do that for 48 minutes.
Yeah,
you don't get no breaks, because one of them is not leaving the court, either between Poole, Clay, or Steph. One of them is never not going to be off the court. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying there. It's a completely different switch in terms of the team. Now, they played them 3 times in the regular season.
Right.
Memphis took 2 of them. So in the last one, I don't think it was much. None of the stars played from the Golden State side. I think the game before that they played, I was actually surprised because I'm on the other side of Morant. I think Morant wakes up a little bit here, and from a points perspective. I think he gets over his 25. For whatever reason, I just thought it was a kind of a tough matchup for him with Minnesota. I don't know why, but I just think it was. And like I said, he had his highlights and stuff, but I expect him to kind of get back going here a little bit. Is Adams back off of COVID?
I believe he is, but again, he's not playable in this series.
And would they go with Looney? Warriors go with Looney, right?
Yeah, the Warriors would go with Moody, yeah, but he's not out there that long. You know what I'm saying? When they get to that lineup where it's Steph, Clay, and Poole out there with Draymond, and I think they may have one other guard out there. Who do I want to say? Or Otto Porter. And then the other part of it is Wiggins. Yeah, so they go to that lineup.
Yeah, Wiggins.
You can't play Adams in that lineup. Who's he gonna keep up with? He may get rebounds, but how valuable is that if those guys are hitting and he can't guard anybody?
Yeah, he's a liability for sure.
Right. Yeah, they had to move him to the bench. They had to move him to the bench in the Timberwolves series because he couldn't guard anybody.
Yeah,
couldn't.
I feel you. And then I'm going right at Jackson to get him out of here.
Right, absolutely, quickly,
Get you
because
short. Yeah.
he hasn't shown the capability to grasp the concept of not,
Is there
just
a props on fouls? Can we do fouls?
I don't know. I don't think. I
I
mean, where
don't
I'm
think
at, I
you
don't know
can.
if you can.
I don't think you can.
I
I'll
would
take
say
fouls all day.
whatever his fouls were, if it was 4,
Over.
I'm going over
3.5, maybe even 4. Over all day. That's funny. So I'm assuming you like Golden State in this game.
I like Golden State in the series.
Obviously, yeah.
I think maybe the Grizz. What can't happen is the Grizz in order for the Grizzlies to have a fighting chance in this series, they have to win these. They have to get these first 2 games. So I would
protect home court.
Yeah, I would. They have to win this. They have to get one of these 2 games. If they don't, if they only at least get one, if they get none of them, they're not winning this series. I don't see it.
Yeah,
they got to win. They got to win one of these games to get to be competitive in this series.
Yeah, Dave says Grizzly will win the series against the Warriors. Yeah, we'll see. Brickman, what's up, Rob? I'll also take the Sixers over Miami at plus 300. It's just count. I think this is all counting on you're betting on Embiid coming back earlier, just like I think Marcus, you has said yourself that you think Embiid might even be back for game 2 if he can pass the protocol. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And then Dave comes right back. Miami Heat will win the series against the Sixers. I'm betting on this too. I think Miami wins the series, especially and even more now with the injury to Embiid and then what we've seen from Harden, because we're going to need him to score 25 at least.
Yeah.
Tonight, and I just don't know if he can do that against this type of defense that he's going to see. And
I would see the thing. We'll if you don't mind, I want to say something on regards to that. People they look at Harden and they say, well, he's washed, or he can't do this or he can't do that. And this is where I tend to disagree. Mm-hmm. The reason why I'm saying that is because one, look at the line. Look at it's granted, yeah, he's never been a consistent shooter. He's been a volume shooter, right? That's one thing. The second thing is the lines he's giving the 76ers 22 and 15 and 6, or a 20 or 22 and or 21 and 13 and 4.
Man, I am good. What was that prop? 25.5. I said he need 25.
Yeah. People look at it and it's like, what were they going to get? That's better than getting the 0 points and 0 rebounds and 0 assists they wasn't getting from Ben. And I know he's gone, but and then on top of it, Harden is still recovering, and that's another thing that they think, well, he's just washed. Nah, man, they do. You got to look at it. They had a COVID year, right? And then they went through the playoffs, and then he hurt his hamstring, and then they started the season right back up. What, 2 months after the end of the season?
Yeah.
So he didn't have any time to really recover. So I think, no, I don't see the Heat going in 7. That I think
if it goes 7, I like the Sixers.
Yeah, that was the worst. That was the worst. And this ain't about the bench, man, because the bench barely plays in the playoffs. It's your best 7, and there's no best 7 when it comes to Embiid. It's Embiid and whatever you got on your side in Miami. You know what I'm saying? That's just being honest about it. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, what's up, Charles? Appreciate you jumping on, brother. I think there's we can keep going and going on.
Right.
Have about basketball and stuff like that, and I threw everybody off because I couldn't get out of it, and we're giving plays, but I wanna wait till the Sixers game come tomorrow. Let's see how this thing unfolds. We gave some plays, we gave some money plays, really, really, really great plays by the homie Marcus from the Philly podcast. Giving a great play on that assist parlay 2-team assist parlay. That was Marcus Smart alternate assist 5.5, and what's his name? Damn, why can't I think of his name? Point guard for he was a Sixers point guard for us. Why can't I think of his name?
Maxey?
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday. I thought
Yeah, Holiday's alternate 5.5. That was a 2-team parlay minus 108. I think that will jump up to probably minus 110, 113 maybe. And if you want to get a little bit more money on your bang for your buck, I had Grayson Allen over points 11.5. Way undervalued for that. That was a lock play, a best bet from the homies, Money Pop Moss, and then Moss Money, and then the homie Marcus from Philly. But don't got too much time, so I want to kind of speed it up here and kind of go through at least the football portion of the show, which is what we were here to talk about anyway. We had the draft, so that roller coaster, right? We took you up and down. Now we're going to go right back up to the top, and then we'll swing around and bring it down and go to our poll question, brought to you by BetUS. Once again, 125% off, one of the leading leaders in the yearly sports book, been in the market for 25 years. Go ahead and hit the link in the A2D radio bio and Facebook on YouTube. We have our poll question. We know the draft, right? We had the draft all yesterday. Big winners in the draft, right? The Eagles were one of the big winners. I think there was 3 big winners. A lot of good drafts, but 3 big winners where I think the Jets did very extremely well. They got a lot of talent to help that team out. I think Baltimore did extremely well as well. They always draft well. Baltimore always drafts well. And then obviously us. 3 impact players and 3 picks. And then we had some secondary and free agent signings to kind of shore up some of the questions, because we went in there looking for safeties, corners, linebackers, and we only hit 1 out of the 3, right? Hopefully they sign Honey Badger. Oh yeah,
hopefully
receiver, right?
Obviously, help, bro.
Was a question mark.
Yeah.
So when you look at the draft and you could include AJ Brown because you traded away the 18th pick as part of your draft class, then you got a shit ton of talent. And when I looked at the odds here for right after the draft, because we had our free agency, we had our draft, and now we're going to start getting to OTAs, camps, and then some of the free agent signings that haven't been signed yet will be signed, like the Honey Badger. But looking at football, I wanted to look at some futures. And the NFC East right now, yesterday I looked at it. I wonder if it changed. No, it didn't. So right now the Eagles are plus 240 to win the division.
Yeah. And
with this influx of talent, we have the New York Giants at 650. The Washington Commanders at 450, and the odds-on favorite is Dallas playing 105. When I look at this division, obviously Dallas should be the lead favorite to win the division. They have a solid team. They lost a lot of players on defense, but on offense, they're still pretty decent. And you still have the best quarterback in the division. Right. I don't think there's any questions about that. And then we have the Philadelphia Eagles. This influx of talent that we just got from this draft, all possible impact players. I wasn't a big fan of the Davis pick. I'm not going to lie. I would have went either Hamilton or Johnson, in my opinion. But because I just don't think Davis can be a 3-down guy. And then who runs the ball? We don't face Derrick Henry twice a year, right? So it's not like, and people think that, all right, you're replacing Cox. Well, you're not, because Fletch was a beast coming in. Not saying Davis can't be, but different player, different style, different body size. And Fletch got to the quarterback. People forget Fletch averaged like 7 or 8 sacks in his first 5 or 6 years. And then he had his pro, and then he went into flex mode for Fletch. Went for 4 or 5 years straight. He was an all-pro, getting 8 or more sacks. So I don't think Davis is there yet. And I don't think Davis will ever be there yet, because I don't think Davis can touch a double-digit sack, especially at his weight.
The thing is, you don't necessarily need that. And where I would go with the pushback a little bit is, I think Fletch is definitely at the end. As much as we all love Fletch, but the defensive line as a whole last year. They needed Jordan Davis. They needed that pick, and the reason I say that is because it's people, when they look at the Eagles defensive line in general, the names look good, but they weren't putting the quarterback on the ground, right? And I don't know if you can blame scheme for a part of it, but a lot of it was guys just they couldn't get there. That's why you saw the games where Justin Herbert would go 32 for 38.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Derek Carr went 32 for 36 against them. And granted, some of it is because of our secondary. However, if you had a defensive line that could get to the quarterback, that would help offset some of what the inexperience of that secondary was. So they gotta, the whole thing with I think this year, there'll be a better defensive line. But will it really matter that much? Because you don't have a corner opposite of Slay, and you still need two safeties that are starting quality safeties. So,
yeah, I mean they tried, right? Obviously, they tried for Williams. If you think about it, what they've done this year with getting Williams, I don't know if they would have been able to sign AJ Brown because I think they gave Williams a pretty decent contract. So, but yeah, flexibility with some of those signings because all your money is not tied up into a quarterback.
Right.
So it would have been interesting to see if some of those free agent signings would have happened earlier on. But looking at the odds right now, I think the Eagles are very live to win its division, and like you were insinuating before with some of the other quarterbacks of their accuracy, that's all on Hurts, right? It's been a long time since I've seen, I think since Donovan and when they went and got T.O., seeing where the organization really went all in,
right,
to get talent into this team. And the funny thing is, the Eagles didn't change who they are. What do? They build from the inside out. They always have. It's been a staple here since Andy's been here. They always build from the inside out. And what were their first two draft picks? Linemen, right? So, and people even talk themselves into liking the center in the second round. Just because Kelsey had came out, said, hey, I've been watching this guy. I helped recruit this guy. This is the guy who's the best comparison to me. And then I think the good thing was what I didn't like about the pick was that they're going to say he looked like he's going to see if he can play at guard, which makes sense because Dickerson was a center from Bama, and he came here and they tried him at guard, and now he looks like he might be a Pro Bowl guard, and they're not even – I mean, they drafted a center in the second round. So, excuse me. So if you think about that, all three, even their top four picks, have potential of playing, and their top three picks, you could potentially say two of them could be Pro Bowlers and impact players now. But it's all on Hurts. If you're a Jalen Hurts fan, if you're a Jalen Hurts believer, then you're running to the window to put this bet in.
Yep.
You're running to the window, and you completely 10 times 100% agree. And then you got the next set of fans. If you're just an Eagles fan, you're just going to say, of course we're going to win a division. Look what we just got. Does it all mesh? Does it all work? Possible. You can't – I mean, the Rams just brought a Super Bowl. Tampa brought a Super Bowl. So, I mean, that's the copycat league. It's looking like you can buy a Super Bowl. And I think my man Brickman said it before, what's Vegas doing? Trying to buy a Super Bowl now. Trying to buy a Super Bowl right now. Plus 700 for Vegas to win that division. Shout out to Don too. I'm happy the Jags passed on Hutch. Because you asked for right, Don. I forgot. Don's from Detroit. Don's a Detroit fan. My bad. They should have took Hutch though. The Jags should have took Hutch, but that's another day. But and then you got your other Eagles fans, your woke Eagles fans, your conscious Eagles fan who don't use so much emotion but think through some of the stuff. They're like, yeah, you know what? That does sound right. They have all the pieces. You're betting on the fact that Jalen has a better year. And people keep saying he's improved every year. He's improved every year. Look at him from Bama. Well, he was throwing like 40% in Bama, right? So saying I improved 45, 40, 50%, 55% your accuracy, stuff like that. I think last year was great for him to get a feel for the game. He saw the body of work. He saw the data, looked at his mechanics, looked at his footwork, all that stuff. Went and practiced with Brady, got all the different people that he needed to do to make sure that he got better for next year to helpfully make the next jump. If he can do that, because he doesn't, we know that he doesn't have the arm talent. He's got talent, but he doesn't have the arm talent that you look for in terms of a Pro Bowl, all-pro quarterback. He just doesn't.
Right.
So he's got to make up that with his other intangibles, which are through the roof. His leadership, his grind, the willingness to get better, all the things that make up a good quarterback he has outside of the the arm talent. So looking at this bet right here, and we'll circle back around and look at some other bets for the NFC Conference. But looking at this bet, I still think this is a pretty decent bet. The Cowboys defense is not good. I think we're up and coming with this draft. And big and if Jalen Hurts can improve and show that he is close to being a Pro Bowl caliber player and quarterback, I think with this draft, and if you don't have to take a quarterback next year and you add more talent, I think the Eagles have set themselves up for maybe the next 5 to 8 years to win not only this division but winning this conference.
Right.
I think that's their talent is rising, and they're still pretty young. So let's look real quick about the NFC Conference. The NFC Championship winners real quick. We'll look at those odds, and then we'll get everybody out of here to finish up the day and get ready for some plays and some bets to put in. Real quick, Marcus.
Yeah.
Looking at NFC Championship winners here, who do you think sticks out to you as a pretty dark horse or pretty good odds here to win the championship?
It's either going to be Tampa. It's going to be either Tampa or the Rams again. That's the way it's going to go. It's pretty. It's really because there's no one else in the South now because they're all rebuilding outside of Tampa. The Rams still have issues. Not the Rams, but the 49ers still have. They don't know what's going on with Debo. They can't afford to lose him. If they do, they've sunk. Who knows if that situation in Arizona has been rectified with Kyler because he wants his money. He's not going to play until he gets it. So right now it's got to be either Tampa. It could be a Tampa, LA, NFC Championship game. Unless obviously, injuries may play a role in all of that. But right now, early betting, man, it's either the Rams or the Bucks again.
Yeah, I think the Rams is getting. I don't know how the Rams aren't favored. The Rams, I think, have a lot of good value here at plus 500.
Yeah, and the fact that they're why are they so high?
One?
Yeah, because where exactly did the Buccaneers improve so fast that they were at what are they at plus 320?
Yeah, man, that's plus.
Come on, is it just because is it because of
it's just
the Brady factor or what? Yeah, but come on now, they got ran over in the championship game.
They did. No, they did. I knew Tomlin was going to come back, as this what Brady does. But they got lucky a little bit in that game, and I think the Rams took their foot off the gas just a little bit, and it was just a little bit too much for Tom. Right? You knew they were going to come back and kind of turn the corner there, but they were getting dogged in the first half for sure. If anybody but Cup is catching that ball, I think it was on third down with the over-the-shoulder catch, I would have been nervous if it was anybody but Cooper Kupp trying to catch that ball, right?
Right, yeah.
That was a huge play, and only stars make that play. So I agree here. I think this is way undervalued for the Rams at plus 500 to win the NFC Conference again. So absolutely on the Rams. this is overreaction, overflated. I don't see Green Bay getting better with Adams gone. Even though I'm a big proponent, big believer that number one receivers don't equal championships, and you can win without number one receivers. But he was such a big part of that.
They took a step back. Who's to say they might? Who's to say they even win the North? Who even says they win the North?
Yeah, who's in that? Who else is in that division?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Kirk Cousins is up and down, but hey,
oh yeah, that's the Vikings division. That's right.
They can win. They can legitimately win that division if they, what I'm saying. Like right now, even though the Packers have Rodgers, the rest of that roster is right on par with what the Vikings have. So I don't see where people think, well, they're going to win the North again. Don't be so sure. Don't.
Right. No, I agree. And then looking at what Brinkman was saying about the AFC division with the Raiders, this is not a bad bet. I think these odds are super long, plus 700. I don't think that doesn't make sense. There's some value here. And I think he said something. Brinkman said Carson Strong is like the 10th favorite of Rookie of the Year. That is interesting. That he wasn't even drafted, and he's a Rookie of the Year candidate. Very, very interesting.
I wouldn't tie them two into either. To be honest with you, because Minshew is still there, which is a roadblock in between them two. So I wouldn't think to put those two together in correlation. Unless they trade Minshew, and I don't see them doing that at this point.
Yeah.
If somebody wanted him, if somebody wanted Minshew, he would already been gone. Because of the fact that
you got to wait for camp, right? Because there's always injuries in camp, so you got to wait for camp.
But the state of the quarterback coming out of college isn't great. That's the reason why you saw one go in the first round, and then you didn't see another one go until pick 86.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the league doesn't view the quarterbacks as much or highly as what the fan does. And that's why you didn't, like I said, you saw one at 86, one at 88, and then you didn't see another one. It's like 90 or 98 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So where these guys, even where the quarterbacks thought they were rated, the league didn't see them that way, which tells you that the league is down on the college quarter or the quarterback coming out of college these last couple of years.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I'm going back to the NFC Championship dark horse. Obviously, the Rams, I think, is undervalued. They should be the favorite, in my opinion, or at least plus 350, closer to what Tampa is. Plus 500, I think, is, I guess they're thinking about, Super Bowl hangover and stuff like that. But that team is complete. That's a complete team there. So I don't think they have too much hangover as what it's especially what their schedule comes out to. I want to say Arizona, but there's something wrong with Murray. There's just something off to me with that. They have every weapon you can imagine on offense. They have tight ends. They have
maybe the coach just isn't what he's.
Yeah, I don't know what it is in Arizona. Like that 1,300 looks interesting to me, but it's just something off about them. I mean, they had some injuries late, right? Hopkins was out. Watt was out, but Watt is, to me, he's kind of washed at this point. He's not JJ Watt from before. But it's just there's just something about that team that just they'll start off hot and then they'll slow down once it gets late. And then it's just a wrap. And then you do expect James Conner to be what James Conner was last year.
Right.
He's so slow. I don't know why
basically.
Yeah, like he's just like they have a lot of explosion from the skill positions outside of running back, but it's just I don't know. I would stay away from them. Like I said, this is a way too early look at this. Still got to go through camp. Still got a long season, but I can't really place anything right now because I don't know if Garoppolo's playing in San Fran. So you're going to put Trey Lance in there, and you think Trey Lance is just going to wake up and set the world on fire? Like, this ain't Patty Mahomes. Even though Patty Mahomes his first year didn't cut it. So I don't know, man. I'm looking at it. I'm not seeing anything that's really enticing outside of the Rams. And even I think even the Eagles is a little high at plus 17. They should be a little bit higher, like plus 2,500, in my opinion. But I'm looking at the Rams probably at plus 500, and I am looking at your Philadelphia Eagles to win the NFC East at plus 240.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So, Arizona trainer first rounder for Marcus Brown was comical. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, because they didn't have anything behind Hopkins, so they got in trouble. So, and then you reuniting, kind of players who played together too. So, it's tough. It's tough it's tough to see what this is going to look like. I said, I like Murray. I think Murray is a great player, but there's just something missing in the makeup, and I don't know what it is. But there's just something missing in the makeup. So, I think those are the plays for looking at way too early NFL NFC championship. On the AFC side, I mean, Buffalo's going to be tough, man. I don't know what it's going to take. They got the Buffalo Blues again, man, when they just keep getting to these AFC championships and losing. Sooner or later, they're going to get over the hump. I'm not a big believer in Denver just because of Wilson. I would rather bet on the Chargers than Denver. The Bengals just came from the Super Bowl and they're plus 1,300. So I don't know what that – you know what I mean? Like, what do we – like, these odds are just crazy. You know what I mean? These odds are just crazy with these long shots. Cleveland's what? Do you think Watson's going to play this year?
Yeah, probably not.
You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be out at least 4 to 8 games, at least.
Yeah, they're not going to let him get off scot-free. So.
Yeah, and his first year is $1 million.
Yeah,
they built it into his contract that he wasn't going to play this year.
He's not going to play. He's not going to play part of this year. So
yeah, man. So if you wanted to do something real quick, real early, gun to my head, real quick, I would put Buffalo here. I think they win the division again. If you like the Birds, I like the Birds. And then I think this is a cakewalk division. Tampa should win that. So right there, real quick, way too early division winners for NFL. Buffalo, the Eagles, and Tampa. And if you're not a fan of the Eagles, you want to take this out, it's not a bad play. A little bit over even money, 104, Buffalo and Tampa, as we see it right now, to win the division. And then if I like the Rams to win the NFC, how can you not put the Rams in there to win? Right? So just playing with some numbers. This is not an official play, but if something I wanted to do right now, I wanted to get ahead of the lines before the lines change, before training camps, before anything kind of craziness, I would probably be living in this wheelhouse right here. Buffalo and Tampa, I think, are almost surefire locks to win their divisions. All right. So we had a lot of plays earlier. We had a lot of basketball plays. Once again, the lock play of the day from the basketball standpoint was in the Milwaukee Bucks and Boston Celtics series. Looking at Holiday and Marcus Smart's alternate assist over and Grayson Allen's points. And I'll bring that up one more time before we get out of here, just to give some of the people who stayed on with us for the football talk. Let's get right back to the basketball talk. Real quick right here. So we're going to play assist. We're using FanDuel right now too, by the way. But we're going to do over 5.5. Bet you that line changed already. Watch. Because it was at what? It was at plus what? I forget. Plus 108 or something?
No, it was minus 108.
It was minus 108.
So it was 5.5.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yep. Oh, dropped a little bit. Minus 107. Just a tad. And then we had Grayson Allen.
11.5.
Did he change? Did he switch up? Oh, he dropped. Wow. He dropped the whole point. Yeah.
Good. So if you took him at 9, if you took him at 9.5, you probably get good money too.
Yeah. Let's see that real quick. I like just the fact that we came back to it. He dropped. Let me see. 7.5, 9.5. Yep. 206. So even getting more. I don't even mind the 240. A plus, and then we both like Boston. Let me go back. Boston. Boom. That was one of the plays we put together right there. Boston, Grayson Allen, Marcus Smart, Drew Holiday. It's a pretty decent parlay, a plus 338. Go ahead and lock that in if you like that play. This is a play, one of the plays of the day. Me, I put a lock play in this one. I like sitting here. I thought this was a solid play. I want to say guaranteed lock play. It's just tough to say lock play, but this should hit 70, almost 70% of the time. Like, you know what I mean? It'd have to be something odd for this not to hit. So,
yeah,
those are the plays of the day. I want to appreciate Mr. Marcus for jumping on with us, brother. Always a pleasure.
Anytime, bro.
Jumping on, man. For those still with us, man, go ahead and check out Marcus. He's on the Philly podcast. You guys can find them on YouTube or Facebook. Friends of the Money Pop Podcast family.
Yep.
Next week, probably won't be doing the show, man. We got to represent. I come from a single mother household, so got to represent for the moms. It is Mother's Day and Father's. I won't leave you hanging because every time on Mother's Day, I got to say something about Father's Day. So my fathers out there, go ahead and do your thing still, because there's some fathers out there that are still doing their thing and being single fathers. So take your day, fellas. For the homie Marcus, for the man behind the glass here at the studio, Mossy Money, Money Pop Podcast, man. Let's go win some money, man. I see y'all. Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right.
Let's go! This ain't the fight night, or this game he stink!
Oh shit!